everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Rams going up against the 49ers. And with that, we're off to Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, as that's where we'll find our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are down the peninsula from San Francisco as you get a look inside modern Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They're going to look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Oh, the spin. Shedding the tackler, that gives him some room. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Mike Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue: explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, you got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 on the gain there, and it'll be a Los Angeles first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain. I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays: toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard them over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, it's Gurley. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Play action, it's Taylor. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And the accuracy lacking there for Zuerlein. It's off to the right, no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he finds Danny Amendola. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Caught, right side, Gresham. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And he's got room. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 8 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
They'll try and run this with Austin. A little 360. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now they'll throw with Taylor. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
They go again with Davis. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, Chip Kelly's going to say, let's bring out the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Now Taylor. Caught. Kelsey, left side. That goes for a gain of 31.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On second down, here's Taylor. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll go down at the 28. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On third down, Taylor. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Austin. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I love when a play results in a game that I can actually kind of fall back on one of my favorite adages, and that is anytime there's a run over 10 yards, it means that the offensive line did its job, but you know who else did? The wide receivers. Because the first 7 yards kind of belong to the offensive line and the running back. Anything after that means the wide receivers did a great job of blocking downfield, being willing to mix it up, and give them some more space to gain additional yardage. That's a really fine play there because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. William Hayes. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Now on pressure coming, and they got him once again. Michael Brockers in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But what about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to fire. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Taylor is going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
They run. It's Gurley. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 1st and goal. They'll look to smash it in. Maybe a quarterback sneak here. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll give it here to Brown. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
Taylor. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
Shift together here from the D-line.
Hey, check. Get 39. Get 56. 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we have reached halftime. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete here on third down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Taken from just outside the 30.
Return team. Automatic first down.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. A tackle that time by William Hayes.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Three down. Now let's go. No, check that. Go Mike 50.
Out of of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught outright, Amendola. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run with Davis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, partner, the hit sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play, you're actually working your way back inside towards traffic where the big guys are coming from inside out, whether it's defensive ends or linebackers. And a lot of the time, instead of securing the pass, your eyes might stray towards the middle and wonder where the big hit's going to come from.
So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the third quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. A dump off for Davis. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Now let's go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Every now and then when we see a really good run, we really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen. What the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
Now Davis. And some room to work. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So last week, mostly ineffective. This week, what we're seeing very effective. What are you seeing that's different?
I think what I'm seeing is just a simple, everyone is on the same page. And I know it sounds trite, but I'm talking about all the guys up front with the blocking schemes, everyone at the point of attack, creating space. And so far, it doesn't matter what gap they choose. They're finding it. A gap, B gap, C gap, does not matter. They're getting there, and they're creating nice runs. Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents. But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Let's go.
From the gun on third down, it's Taylor. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. Back now here in Santa Clara. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Here's Davis now. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. 7 yards remaining here on third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
It's fielded at the 45. Oh, shifty. Whoa. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Try the end around. And some room to roam now. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go.
Little motion now from the tight end. On 1st and goal, Gurley. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Let's go.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. And the play clock's running down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Now another try at 2 here from the 7 now.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Flex round. Flex round.
Taylor going to throw. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So the flag backed him up 5 yards to the 7. They still get the 2-point conversion, though.
Now, was that confidence in the play call they had and in their offense, or just absolute disdain for the defense?
It worked. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
There he goes, right side. The 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Mike Davis, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. So after that stop, you know the third down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Backing up. Still back there. Complete. He finds Brate. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
And the offense can string something together, but they'll need to do it quickly here to try to get points on the board and win this game. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got Gresham. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On the carry, it's Davis. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Gresham has it left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. The situation, tie game. They're just hoping to keep it that way, aren't they?
They are, and right now everything is really being dictated by how they're going to attack offensively. Will they take a knee and just try and get to overtime? Will they try and run some big plays? Got to stay loose and alert and be ready for anything on defense.
Got to think they're going to try to get in field goal range here, right?
You would think so, but some of them will look at the clock and say, I'm better off taking my chances in overtime because I might turn it over here. So you just have to be prepared.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Here's Taylor. They'll roll him out right. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And that is how you do it, my friends. This will be spotted out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, let's hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on 3rd down. Now what can Taylor do here in overtime? He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a 1st down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let a team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's incomplete. The intended target, Mike Davis. 3rd down here. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Finding time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. And the Rams getting set to go now. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over. right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They'll run. This is Brown. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
And the big tight end shifting around. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. This to win it in overtime. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Well, as if overtime wasn't a twist enough to this plot, a blocked field goal return for a touchdown to put a capper on this crazy game.
Crazy indeed. And we had 4 quarters of really good football. But how about the bonus we got that turned into this? And all I keep thinking about is the team that was kicking the field goal. There was a breakdown somewhere that allowed the block to happen.
And then the scoop, and to take it the rest of the way in the other direction. What an ending.
That's dramatic indeed, folks. And let's head to the airport, partner.
So for the Niners, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for L.A., the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.